All right, welcome in Scorpio and Scorpio placements. This is your mid-July reading for 2026. This reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. And it is for the time period of July 12th through the end of the month. Okay, keep in mind that it is still a collective reading. So as with all collective readings, please take what resonates for you, leave what does not for someone else. If you feel that roles need to be reversed and they resonate that way, then that is completely fine. If the reading is not resonating with you at all, please check another placement. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to get a couple oracles and then get into tarot here. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, Archangel Michael, what do you have for Scorpio and Scorpio placements from July 12th through the end of the month here? What is the energy? What do we need to know for Scorpio and Scorpio placements, please? Okay. We have terms: working out, negotiating with you, and begging. And we have evidence: law enforcement, temptation, criminal history, avoiding the 12. Okay. All right, Spirit. So what do we have for Scorpio and Scorpio placements here? What is the overall energy? What is going on with them between now and the end of July, please? Okay. We've got the 8 of Cups, the Page of Pentacles. We have the Hermit. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Wands. Okay. At the bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. All right. So I am feeling with the 8 of Cups here that either you or someone that you've been dealing with, or both of you possibly, have either pulled back your energy or walked away from this connection. Okay. If you haven't done this yet, it might be something that might be happening within the next few weeks. Okay. Because the 8 of Cups does talk about, walking away from something or someone, pulling back your energy. Okay. And it could be that either you're communicating that you're walking away, that someone else is communicating this to you, or this could also be that if you or this person has already walked away or pulled back your energy, that you're getting communication after this has happened. Just take that as it resonates for you. This communication could be coming from an earth sign or someone with earth in their chart. This person could be younger than you, could also be someone immature as well. Just take that as it resonates for you. Okay? But there is something to do with some sort of communication. I do feel that it could come in the form of a text message, maybe a DM. Okay? It might not be something that's face-to-face per se. It could be, but it might not be. Now, with the Hermit here, I feel like this communication possibly could be talking about separation. Okay. Maybe it's the need for separating, or it has to do with separation. Okay. So like I said, it's either the fact that you all have separated already and this communication is coming after that, where this person is addressing this sense of separation. Maybe they've gone within, maybe they've reflected on things during separation. For those of you who resonate where you haven't separated or pulled back energy yet, maybe this communication is talking about the fact that you feel, or this other person feels, that separation is needed. Okay. And it's needed for a sense of introspection and reflection. Okay. So take it as it resonates for you. Like I said, I'm not sure where you are on this timeline. Okay. Now you might have a family with this person. For some of you, you're married to this person, and you're going to be going through possible separation, or you already are. It's possible that, even if you aren't technically married, maybe you have a long-term commitment with them. Okay. Maybe you've got shared assets. Maybe you own a home together. Maybe you have children together. Maybe this person is your sense of family in one way or another. Okay. Maybe you have significant finances that you have together. Okay. So there are things that tie you to this person. It's not so easy to just cut them out and walk away. There are, entanglements, I feel. Now, if that's not the case for you, then this is someone that you are hoping to have this with. Okay. So it can be either one. Okay. But at the end of the day, I feel like you both are looking for a new beginning here. Now, whether you feel like that can happen with this person, or if you feel like you might need to look elsewhere for that, I feel like you are looking to try to reignite passion in your life. Like I said, whether it's with this person, or if, and it might not even be in a relationship. It could be that, you are working toward, a different job or a different career path. Maybe there's something else in your life, like a project you're working on, that brings you a lot of passion and joy. Maybe that's something that you want this separation so that you can focus on that and what makes you happy, where you can also reflect as well in that time. Okay. But like I said, for some of you out there, maybe it does have to do with this person or a relationship. And maybe you're either trying to see if this separation period can reignite that spark between the two of you, or maybe it will lead you elsewhere to find that spark. Okay. But there's something to do here to do with that. Now, with the King of Pentacles being here on the bottom of the deck, for some of you, this is you. For some of you, this is the person you're dealing with. Okay. The King of Pentacles is someone who is a provider of stability and security. It's a provider of, a lot of times, that stability and security in financial ways. Okay. So like the 10 of Pentacles, we were talking about that financial aspect. This person could provide financial stability and security. Okay. So that might be why it might be difficult to completely walk away from this person. Okay. Or if this is you, then maybe it's hard for you to walk away from this other person, knowing that, they won't have that stability and security anymore. And you care about this person, obviously. Okay. Now, like I said, maybe you have children together. So maybe you or this person, you identify with being a parent here, because the King of Pentacles can be a parent. But I also feel that whatever this situation is bringing for you, if this separation winds up being something that's permanent, you are going to have to be the King of Pentacles for yourself. And whether that's something that you haven't been used to doing, or if that's something where it might be, a scary thing for you, then that might be something on the table here as well. Okay. If you are the King of Pentacles and you've been providing for this person, like I said, if things don't work out and you all wind up walking away permanently from one another, then it is possible that maybe, you are concerned about how this person will be without you and without, the financial stability that you've brought to them. Okay. Now, if you do have children with this person, maybe that's another thing you're thinking of, that if, you know, no matter if you are the King of Pentacles or not, caring for children financially after divorce or separation, I mean, that's something to consider as well. Okay. I'm hearing all different stories here. All right, Spirit. So as far as potential challenges and difficulties that Scorpio might be facing between now and the end of July, what do you have to tell us? What are potential challenges here that they might be facing in this situation? Okay, so we've got the Ace of Cups. We have the Emperor. The Five of Cups. Okay. We have the Ten of Wands. I had like 3 cards that wanted to come out at once. And then we've got Strength. At the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands here. Okay. All right. So with the Ace of Cups being here, I feel like, maybe the idea of coming back together with this person and opening your heart back up to them, even though whatever has happened here has happened between the two of you, I feel like that might be something that's difficult for you to wrap your head around. Okay. Now, for some of you as well, with the Ace of Cups, with all of this going on, I feel like also the idea of you embracing a new beginning elsewhere, whether it's with another person or just something else that's true and dear to your heart, could be, like I said, a career path. It could be anything. It could be a hobby, whatever it is. Just allowing yourself to feel joy and happiness when you're feeling this heaviness and whatever stress that this person has put you under. That might be something that is just difficult to even think about right now. Okay. With the Emperor being here, I do feel twofold. Okay. When this Emperor kind of shows up here in the challenge position, unless I definitely feel one way or another, a lot of times I feel like it's multiple things here. I feel that number one, you might, now male or female, obviously, doesn't matter the gender here. But number one, I feel like maybe you've been dealing with someone who has been stubborn, someone who has been in their pride and ego, and someone who likes to be in control. Okay. They can be a very controlling person. A lot of times this does stem, all of those things, they stem from insecurities that this person has deep within them. Okay. And so I feel like not only did you feel like this was potentially your person, but I feel like, all of these qualities possibly within this person, and take what resonates for you in your situation. But that poses a challenge here when dealing with this person. Okay. Now, also, the way I'm feeling about the Emperor is that I feel like there is something within you that feels that you need to embrace the Emperor within yourself. Okay. And you need to embrace that idea that you have standards within yourself and you don't settle for less, that you have this sense of control over your life and that no one else can make decisions for you. No one else can make decisions for the path that you want to go down, or the way you want your life to be lived. Okay. So it can be a sense of like a power struggle almost between you and this person. And, even if you had that sense of power within yourself before maybe you met this person, or before, things started maybe going downhill, then I feel like maybe you've given over a little bit of your power to them, or maybe you just butt heads with this person quite often. Okay. And it's because they're in that pride and ego and control, that stubborn, energy. Okay. So that poses obviously challenges. Now, if you are in this state of regret, maybe you regret doing certain things, saying certain things, maybe you regret giving this person as much time as you have of your life. Maybe you feel just completely and utterly disappointed in this situation. Those are things that maybe you're having a difficult time forgiving yourself with, or having, difficulty forgiving yourself about. And that isn't the easiest thing to do, but I feel like spirit really wants you to try to embrace that. However, it is something that is posing a challenge. Okay. And getting past the disappointments and the regret that you might be feeling, that is also something that might be posing a challenge here with this person. And even, the thought of coming back together. Okay. Or staying together. With the 10 of Wands, I feel like you are significantly overburdened here with this person and this situation. Now, I'm sure that there are other things in your life that have also contributed to burden, just in general, but it's like compounded because this person and this, relationship or this situation, it's put even more so as far as burden on you. And so I feel like that sense of burden might feel overwhelming, and it's affecting you. Okay. I'm sure it's affecting your mood. It's affecting you in other aspects of your life, the way you talk with other people, the way your behavior possibly is, could be affecting your sleep. And I feel like that is also posing a challenge, because I feel like, when you're in that energy, it's difficult to remain in that elevated and high vibrational state. And then with strength here, I feel like maybe holding back from this person is difficult. Okay. Especially if you feel like they are a significant part of your life. If you have significant investment with them, if you feel that, maybe for some of you, you feel that there are certain things that you want to say to them, but you know that it will be the nail in the coffin, or that by being completely and brutally honest about your feelings, that this person will definitely walk away from you. And maybe that's a fear that you have. Okay. So holding back is something challenging, but you have to do it. Now, I also feel with strength that, again, you could be dealing with someone in their pride and ego. Again, that could be something difficult for you in this situation, but also remembering that sense of confidence and inner strength that you have within yourself. Again, like I was saying with the Emperor, I feel like being in your power is something that maybe is not that easy for you in this situation right now. Okay. And then on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, it is very possible that, there was a third party here. Okay. So whether it was a romantic third party or else, otherwise, it could be, a job, it could be family. There's possibly someone that, or something here that did get in between you and this person, causing roadblocks or obstacles. Okay. Maybe whatever this evidence card is talking about, whatever that is, maybe that's what that is indicating. Okay. Nonetheless, I feel that male or female doesn't matter the gender. If it is a third party, then that's something that maybe, that's really difficult for you to even get past. Because if it happened once, how do I know it's not going to happen again? Okay. Also, though, with the Queen of Wands being here, again, it talks about that energy of taking passionate action for what you feel is best for you. Okay. And remembering your value and your worth and not settling for less, being in that state of power. And so for you to embrace that, it might be, it might be challenging here with this situation. Hello, sweetums. All right, Spirit. So what is the guidance? What is the advice? What should Scorpio be focusing on here? All right. So we have the Nine of Wands. Let's see if the cat moves. All right. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Swords. Okay, at the bottom is the Page of Cups. Okay. So with the Nine of Wands being here, come on, hon, stay away from that candle. Sorry about that. All right, with the Nine of Wands being here, I feel like obviously, you're wounded. Okay, this situation has wounded you. It might be bringing up old wounds from the past as well. Okay, it's kind of like pouring salt in the wound or ripping open the wounds that have healed from the past. Okay, it might be bringing up triggers, things like that. I feel like maybe this is a situation where stronger boundaries were needed. Maybe that's a lesson for some of you. Putting up boundaries is not always the easiest thing to do, especially with the ones that you love. Okay, but that might be something as far as a lesson. But at its core, the Nine of Wands, even though you might feel wounded by a person or a situation, you are taking the steps to move forward in your life. You are persevering past whatever this has presented to you. Okay, so Spirit wants you to embrace that energy. And whether it's with this person or without, whatever you decide. Okay. Now, with the Knight of Pentacles being here, I feel like, maybe you've been wounded for a while, or maybe you've been in this situation, whatever this is with this person, maybe it's been quite a while that you've been dealing with this. Okay. Maybe you've been hoping that things would get better and they never did. Okay. With the Knight of Pentacles, though, I feel like Spirit is wanting you to move towards stability, however you feel is best for you. It might not be an overnight process, but it will be something that you feel confident will be stable in the end. So whether you are confident about moving forward with this person, or whether it's that you feel like you need to move away from this person and gain that sense of stability on your own, that is up to you. With the Eight of Swords here, I feel like, this person has brought up a lot of anxiety for you. Okay, this situation has brought a lot of anxiety to your life. Okay, I feel like maybe it's been affecting you in other areas of your life, like I was saying earlier. And maybe this person or this situation has even caused you to, not sleep very well. And maybe it's affecting your health too. If that's the case, then Spirit wants you to address that, the best way that you can, whether that's going to your doctor or, doing, some self-love, self-care, talking with others, whatever you feel would help you. Okay. Now, the Eight of Swords is an idea and an energy that, even though there is anxiety there is a way out. Okay. So it's, even though anxiety is a feeling and it's an emotion where a lot of times, if not most of the time, you don't have control over it. You know, it's not like you can just flip a switch and anxiety, you can shut it off. But, this could be affecting your life, and spirit wants you to really analyze, number one, how can I address this anxiety? And number two, if this person and the situation is causing me so much anxiety, is this the healthiest connection and relationship for me? Okay. Because, I mean, I am going to put my 2 cents in here that if someone is in your life and they are causing this type of anxiety where it might be debilitating, where you might feel like you need to be on medication, you really need to go within and reflect on, is this person right for me? Because as much as you might love and care for that person, is your sanity and your personal health, if it could be at risk, and is that worth it? You really have to go within. And I feel like with this hermit card being here, that's something that spirit really wants you to go within and introspect about. Okay. With the 2 of Pentacles being here, I feel like spirit wants you to focus on maintaining more balance in your life. Okay. If there's something that you've been going back and forth about, whether it's to stay with this person or to leave them, that might be something as well that you might need to focus on. And that might be something that is affecting you and this state of anxiety, the fact that you're not sure what to do. Okay. Now, with that Queen of Wands that came out, for those of you who do resonate with there being a potential third party that's there, like I said, it doesn't have to be an actual person, doesn't have to be a romantic partner at that. But whatever this person possibly juggled you with did not give you your equal energy, your equal give and take, that reciprocal type energy as far as relationships are concerned. That is something that spirit wants you to focus on as well. Because if this person has been tempted to make you feel or to do something where they don't give you 100% of their attention, or at least, meet you halfway in the relationship where it's reciprocal. If they, say are a workaholic and they just don't think about how it affects you, and they come back and say, I'm sorry, I won't let it happen again, but how do you know that it won't? It's up to you. This is something that you're going to have to go within about. If it is an actual third party as far as a romantic sense, then if this person has been tempted by a third party before, are you sure that that might not be something that might happen again? Okay. So, remember that maybe you've been juggled by this person, but also focus on maintaining balance here. Okay. And actually requiring reciprocation, reciprocal energy from this person or whoever you're dealing with. Now, I feel with, of course, the 4 of Swords, spirit wants you to rest as much as possible. If you can, try to take some time to yourself. That might be part of this separation and this isolation period that might be either happening or is something that has happened. But allow yourself to heal as much as possible. Okay, heal the patterns within yourself that you might be identifying, heal whatever triggers this person has brought up within you, whatever lessons might be involved here. Okay, and with the Page of Cups here, I feel like, it is very possible that this person is going to come back and apologize. Okay, now with this terms card, yeah, it talks about possibly even begging, negotiating, trying to work things out, so this person most likely might be coming back your way. And at some point, after this separation period, possibly, and wanting this Ace of Wands with you, this Ace of Cups with you. They want to start again. You know, it will be up to you if you feel like that's something, a cycle that you want to start again with this person, because you really needed to, reflect and analyze, is this person going to repeat this same cycle again? Are we going to go through the same things over and over again? Now, depending, on how many chances you've given this person, if this, has this person been able to show you with tangible action and behavior, have they changed? I feel like that might be the only way that you'll know. I feel like you cannot go by their words, unfortunately. All right. But obviously, we all have free will, and you do whatever you feel is best for you in this situation. But with the Page of Cups, I also feel that if you do have children, this person might bring children into this. Okay, like what would happen with the children? What will the children say? So that might be brought up as well. And I feel with the Page of Cups that Spirit really wants you to focus on forgiving yourself. So whatever part you had to play in this, whether it was overgiving, whether it was not having the best boundaries in place, whether it was staying in the situation longer than you feel like maybe you should have, or allowed a certain behavior or something like that to go on without you addressing it, whatever it might be, it could be that you gave some of your power away to this person. Whatever it is for you, don't beat yourself up, and Spirit wants you to, forgive yourself in this situation. Okay. Again, it's something it's not that easy. It's easier said than done for most people, but that is the guidance. That is something that Spirit wants you to do if you can. Okay. So as far as signs, we have water, we've got earth, we've got fire. We have air. Yeah. So we have all signs. We have Virgo energy. We have Aries. We have Leo. And I feel like that might be it. But all signs are here. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that this helped you, Scorpio and Scorpio placements. If you do feel like it resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care and namaste.